Hello everyone, and welcome to Thrill Source. My name is Thrills New England, and today we are going to be taking a look at the new for 2019 addition to Six Flags New England, Cyborg Hyper Drive. Now, from looking at the Six Flags website, it might be a little bit difficult to tell what kind of ride this is. They describe it as a dark ride, a thrill ride, and in reality, it's kind of a mixture of the two. What this is the Pandemonium Ride that was installed at Six Flags Great Escape last year. It's essentially a wipeout ride, but instead of facing in, you're facing on the outside with your back to the middle of the ride vehicle. But first, let's get into the theming of the ride and what the ride actually is. This ride is located in the DC Superheroes area of Six Flags New England, along with rides like Superman the Ride, Gotham City Gauntlet, and Catwoman's Whip. It's an indoor attraction, so it's located in the old Justice League building, now themed to Star Labs. Once you enter the queue finally, after waiting outside, you walk through the queue and then wait to the door to enter the actual ride experience. Then once an attendant opens the door and lets you in, the ride is sitting in there on an indoor platform, and basically it's just a big empty room with a big projector or screen on one wall that's supposed to be the Star Labs control center. That's where a video of Cyborg will come up during the ride. And on the other sides of the room, there's smaller TVs with the same projection that's on the big projector. Now, once you sit down in your vehicle and your restraints are locked and they start the ride, what happens, the supposed theming, is that Cyborg is mapping the multiverse, and by getting into this ride vehicle, you're helping him. But then, in typical theme park fashion, something goes wrong. Cyborg's nemesis, named Grid, apparently, takes over the Star Labs mainframe and hacks into the vehicle that you're on. Up until this point, the ride was moving in circles similar to a regular wipeout, but once Grid takes over, the ride starts to tilt up and will get more spinning rapidly. Now, this part of the ride was actually really fun, and I enjoyed it. One thing to note, though, during this section, all the screens just went black and fuzzy, as according to the theming, but it was still a little bit boring after a pretty extensive pre-show. Then, once the ride gets really going, Cyborg takes the controls back, and the ride gets spinning back to normal and finally comes to a stop. Now, my biggest complaint about this ride isn't the queue, it isn't the theming, but it's the actual ride experience is really actually pretty short. It's only probably about a minute and a half from when you get locked in to when the ride stops. Now, this ride is actually really fun, and the theming is pretty entertaining, so I could have definitely gone for a minute longer of the spinning, because it's not an intense spinning like a Huss Frisbee or anything like that. It's pretty tame, so a little extra time on that definitely wouldn't have hurt. So overall, I think this is a great attraction. I think it is a great addition to the park. It's perfect themed in the area. It's definitely probably the most well-themed ride at the park. And also there's air conditioning inside, so that's always nice on a hot day like I was there on. But overall, I would definitely recommend doing this while you're at Six Flags New England, and it's definitely a ride that's worth waiting for. It's a pretty cool ride experience because it would have been really easy for them just to put the ride on a pad outside, but they didn't do that. They put it inside, they took the extra step, and I think it definitely paid off. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to subscribe down below or leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.